You got this and you got that, and you gonna murder this one and murder that one. Talking all that bullshit. I'm gonna put it to you like this, yo.
This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me. I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Only Friends podcast. It's a late night edition, and nobody fucking came.
The lights are on and nobody's home.
The lights are on, nobody's home. It's just me, young Landon Tice, who wasn't even supposed to be here. He was meant to be in LA.
It's true.
What a lucky turn of events that you happened to cancel.
Yeah, TwitchCon is in Vegas this year. So some friends of mine that are in the streaming space are actually here, so I decided to push LA to next week.
Okay, so you're just going to be social here instead.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan, but I guess it worked out because Brian had a last minute thing. Conrad, we have no idea where he is.
Conrad's just, well, you know what? I think he This is no joke. I legitimately think he slept through the podcast because he stayed up all night doing laundry.
You think so?
I did hear him saying
can't make this
something
stuff
about
up, man. You just can't make this stuff up.
Yeah.
I also thought Melissa was supposed to be on today, but she's at a Halloween party.
I thought so too. I asked her before coming to the office. I was like, are you coming to the office today? And she said no, which kind of confused me, as Thursday is where we're trying to make game show day.
Yeah.
But now the game show is me, you, and Guapo.
Okay.
You're talking about some random stuff
Well, we actually
today.
do have an action-packed show. We have a lot of topics, and we have a special guest who's going to roll in about halfway through. So don't worry, man. I got all the bases covered, baby. We're not going to be shorthanded for long.
Wait, what now?
We got don't worry about it.
You have a secret guest?
I got a secret guest. He'll be coming through with a friend. I don't even know who his friend is. He just said, "Can I bring somebody?" And I said, at this point, absolutely.
Wait. So somebody that I don't know who's showing up is bringing someone else that I don't know
Precisely.
to sit in like Conrad's shot and like fill up, I guess, the guest chair because the shot's already done, or sit right there.
Yeah. Are we set up for a guest shot here, Guap?
We are.
Okay, yeah. Then we're just gonna have the Conrad shot turn into our special guest, and the guest chair turn into mystery guest.
Okay.
All right.
I mean,
Well, it's
exciting is one word. I'm a little unprepared for this.
well, what are you gonna do?
That's showbiz, baby.
That's showbiz, baby. All right.
What do we have going on?
We got some things, man. We got some things. I'm trying to get Guapo a link to a hand that I played, which put me in the muck. But prior to us getting to that, let's actually go through a little bit of some lighter things. Pardon me. I need to find our run of show, as this all caught me a little bit off guard.
Yeah, this caught everybody off guard.
Yeah.
There's no Conrad. Brian left. Brian was literally sitting next to me and then goes, "Oh shit, sorry guys, I gotta run." Like,
I mean, hey, that's understandable. Shit comes up. I don't fault the man at all.
No.
We had a Midwest joke planned. Can't do that without Connie with the Connie Dixon line, of course. All right, so we're scratch that.
Put an X on that one.
Got it.
Good job,
we're
guys.
gonna X off the Midwest joke.
It's going to be a 5-minute podcast this
All right,
time.
moving along. We have a nice show for you today. We're going to see which one of us is in the muck today. Global Poker finally responding to the cheating allegations, and it was pretty messy. But first, let's talk a little bit about Blank Check Ben.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about who I like to refer to as Blank Check Brain, as in the brain.
From Pinky and the Brain?
From Pinky and the Brain. Tell me you don't see the resemblance.
I can't say I don't.
It's a striking resemblance.
We need to get a graphic up.
we do. We need a side-by-side at some point. So this isn't even newsworthy. I just found it to be hilarious. So I wanted
That's news to us.
Yeah, exactly. We're here for the memes at this point, right?
You gotta commit to the bit, and we're here for the memes.
The Uncovering Wesley crew has been emailing me all week. At this point, I've gotten bored with it, so I stopped sharing with you guys somewhere along the line, and I stopped posting it to Twitter. But they've been teasing a big release for like the last 6 days or so. I finally got a link yesterday, and it was to a Reddit thread that has been deleted. But I'm guessing it had something to do with the tweet that Ben put up yesterday, which was like a 5-page document that the alleged, I don't know, blackmailer, I guess we could call him, the Russell Tamer character, he had sent these threats basically exposing Ben, and as you can see, it's nothing. It's much ado about nothing.
He's not afraid of the blackmail.
Yeah, I mean, Ben posted it himself, so it's kind of like whatever. There are some things in there that insinuate that he and Airball may have had a falling out where Ben perhaps may have talked him into an investment and then, charged a big markup for said investment. Something to the effect of like Ben getting in at X valuation and then him charging, like 4X to Airball to get into the same investment. I don't fucking know. It
is kind of funny that in business versus poker, like you charge 4.0 for a buy-in, you're absolutely scamming.
Right.
But then in business, you can charge like infinite for markup, and if they buy it, they bought it.
They bought it. What are you gonna do?
The buyer's market.
That's right, man. That is right. So yeah, I mean, this really has nothing to do with why I even bring it up. Ben and Wesley did a podcast with Vertucci earlier in the week, and when I say Ben and Wesley, I actually just mean Ben was talking and Wesley was listening. It was the longest 90-minute word diarrhea to basically say that him and Wesley have kissed and made up, and that there's a third party who's trying to attack. Wesley actually handled it the best. Wesley was just like, I said I don't give a fuck. I have nothing to hide, and they left me alone. Yeah. And like that was just kind of it.
At least for you, it's 45 minutes because you put it on 2x speed.
3x if I can. It's insufferable.
Only a half hour of your life instead of an hour and a half.
It's brutal, but there were a couple interesting. So I mean, yeah, really, the whole thing was just like Ben trying to come to terms with the fact that he's been scammed not once, not twice, but somewhere in the neighborhood of thrice to multiple times thereafter.
He said sorry to you, kinda.
Well, yeah. So that's where I got a bit of a kick out of. Well, let's roll this quick clip. And I apologize, it is on 1.5x, but it's long otherwise.
It's worth it.
Berkey, and wanted to give him the information to be able to report it. And Berkey took the text and put it on blast, and that was the end of that. So kudos to him.
And you know what? I will say this as well, right? This guy, he's very observant. He tried to scam me into giving him money because he knew I didn't like Wesley.
Same reason why I sent it to Matt.
I have no doubt that he specifically went to Berkey because he knows that Berkey and I were talking shit about each other back in April, May. And the thing is, I've never met Berkey. I don't personally dislike him. He's never done anything to me personally. And the things that I said about him, I certainly regret because if anything, it just gives people like Russell, an opportunity to exploit. And also, as a result of this episode, I've done a lot of reflecting. I've evaluated how I form my own opinions and judgments of people. I realized that I formed an opinion and a judgment of Wesley that was extremely biased and unfair. And I for that reason, I regret, the things I said about Berkey. But the things that I said, as you are very aware, especially you, Nick, was in the context of the fact that, during that time, he was in a very heated heads-up challenge with Nick Airball. And the thing about me is I'm loyal to my friends. And at the time, I was rooting very hard for Airball. Yeah. And I even went to Vegas to troll Berkey in person during their heads-up just to try and put him on tilt just to help Airball, and I guess, my actions were...
That was
close.
That was something. I think that was an apology somewhere.
Did he apologize for the trailer trash comment?
No.
That one's still kind of fucking with me.
He said that he can't take it back and that for a man of his education and background, it's very unbecoming. And you know what? I tend to agree. You should hold yourself, you pretentious fuck, a much higher standard.
Yeah, eat a dick. Really.
As in, like, higher than a third grader's education?
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm having fun with it because, like, I don't know Ben from Adam. Like, we've never met. He has no reason to dislike me. I have no reason. Well, I have plenty of reason to dislike him, but, like, I'm not that petty, but I'm going to meme the fuck out of it. Mm-hmm. It's just too funny not to, man. Like, I'm sure we could sit down and have a dinner together and just be totally fine. I hold no ill will towards this guy, but he's going to be the butt of so many jokes as far as I'm concerned. I mean, the guy's out there fucking bragging about his pedigree and all of the money that he's made when, you know, he very likely is a Nepo baby. But even if he's not and he worked really hard for it and this is the way that he's parting ways with it, it's really hard for someone to hold themselves in such high regard. Oh man, of my background and prestige, I just, you know, it's very embarrassing for me to say such things. It's like, okay, buddy, let's fucking relax. It's the internet. We're out here slinging it. It's
literally the internet.
Yeah, like just say what it was, man. It was a bit. It was a work. You were doing your thing because you backed the wrong fucking pony. You know, it's like, honestly, when I say that he's gotten scammed at least thrice, I'm partially including Airball selling a big piece of his action to him as being scammed, because
that guy can't win.
He was never cashing that one in. That's for sure.
But he's still stuck like infinite millions.
Infinite millions.
I mean, you got $1 million of it.
I got the tip of the fucking.
Are we still talking about
buddy.
Airball or Ben now?
I think we're just talking about Airball.
Okay.
Ben in that interview, Ben said he was going to be taking a step away from the poker community. He's really going to look inward and try to arrive at some conclusions of why he keeps getting put in I just think it's his bleeding heart, really. I think the man
cares too much.
Yeah, he cares too much, and that just leaves him ripe for the picking when it comes to the scam artist. So, you know, I hope you don't ever lose that childlike wonder, Ben. But maybe you know, be a little more careful out there. These streets, they're not meant for soft ones. You know,
you got to stay hard out there.
Yeah, you got to stay hard. But call up Goggins. I'm sure you got his number. You know, a man of your pedigree.
Man of your caliber must clearly talk to David.
Yeah, I imagine a man in your
he's
position
not Goggins
of power.
He's David.
Right, exactly. I imagine a man in your position of power. David would happily take your call. Maybe hang out on the weekend, talk about.
He's in Vegas,
swap
right?
trade secrets. I think he lives in Arizona, but we're talking about Goggins at this point. I think he does venture to Vegas quite frequently.
This is the ultra marathon guy.
Yeah. Somebody said that they saw him like running. I don't think it was on the 15 or 215, but it was like one of these side streets, like Rainbow or Decatur or something like that. They said that they like saw him running or whatever, and he was like stopped, or he was walking, or, you know, basically not staying hard.
Yeah.
And then he like put in a full sprint and pulled out the camera. Goggins is one of my favorite. Like,
dude, yeah, I mean, I've saw some clips of like he'd be running and you see like Mandalay Bay in the back, like you'd see Vegas, like very like, on the strip type shit. Yeah,
I talk very highly of Goggins because I love that. I love the messaging behind the grittiness of like kind of pulling yourself up by the bootstraps, getting yourself out of the muck, so to speak.
Mr. Poopy Pants.
Right? Yeah, no one's gonna wipe your ass for you. Like. In those regards, I think having disciplined and a callous mind is just like worth a lot, because you really are talking about those make or break moments where, you know, your spirit can kind of be broken, and from that point forward, it snowballs in a negative way. Versus somebody who's just willing to put their head down and trudge forward, get through the tough stuff, and kind of at the other side. And that's like what I take away from the Goggins message.
And he also did it himself. Like, he wasn't always that guy.
Right.
He wasn't always the in shape guy, the guy that was callous, like, and hard as fuck, right? He was very overweight and was like, this is my life, and then decided I didn't want that anymore.
When I meme it, though, because I do understand that it only applies within a certain framework, and once you start to apply it elsewhere, it is fucking meme worthy. And like when I meme it, it's when people like think that that's what you do in a mind sport, or that's what you do with regards to I don't know, your day-to-day interactions in your relationship. Like, it's not always about staying hard.
No, it's just like having that mentality to push to max physicality.
Yeah, like don't conflate the notion of be capable of being a hardened individual with, if you just worked harder, you'd be a winner.
Right, like stay hard, run Sims till you die.
Right.
Versus stay hard, like try to make yourself do things that you're uncomfortable doing.
Yes, exactly. I think that those messages often get conflated. And in my mind, the notion of like quote unquote working harder is actually much more of that put yourself in uncomfortable positions over and over again until they become comfortable.
Well, you're not allowed to joke on the internet.
That is becoming clear. I'm certain this blank check Ben bit isn't going to come without fallout. But hey, that's what we're here for now.
Like Patrick can just say that Espen made $6 million off of advertising from being the main champ. And everyone's like, "Oh shit!" Like I'm very clearly joking.
I
And
mean,
then-
to be fair, he definitely got enough blowback where he quickly qualified his joke.
you're right though. It's very hard to be. You can't make jokes on the internet. People will take you if they see you as an authority, they'll take you seriously. If they don't see you as an authority, they'll think everything's a joke.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing though. The fact that sarcasm is lost in text, it's like, of course, we just have to recognize the platforms. There's no nuance. But I could joke here. You can hear the tone of my voice.
Yeah, like that's
you should be able to tell when I'm
podcast.
fucking around. Yeah.
Like the podcast is called when we had the Torelli back and forth, the work harder stuff. We can very clearly tell like what is and isn't a joke,
right?
Through dialogue and through voice inflection.
Yeah.
But you're using Twitter, not going to happen.
No.
Twitter is the nuance graveyard.
It is it's where ideas and thoughts go to die, for sure. There's no getting around it.
Yeah. You just got to use the Bluebird app for the memes, man.
We have a CSA.
He's not even here.
I know. We got one via text. We got a CSA.
I mean, at least it's running through user filter and it's not just him. So
somehow, I fell asleep at 3 p.m. and I just woke up. By the way, no punctuation. I'm adding in the punctuation as I read. Real genius. Also, somehow, I got kicked out of my WhatsApp. They said the account is under review, whatever the duck that means. I think he meant fuck. So I can't even write in the pod chat. No follow-up. Just letting us know. That's where Connie is. I was right. He did enough laundry to send the man into the grave.
How much laundry could he possibly do?
He said he did 15 loads.
How?
Well, if you've been in our laundry room, which I know you probably haven't, anytime in the near or in the recent past.
I wash my clothes.
Okay, well, can you get your fucking giveaway clothes out of the goddamn hallway? Oh, yeah, we'll do this right here, right now.
Giveaway clothes.
So Landon takes it upon himself.
Oh, the extra stuff I have?
The extra stuff.
Hey, man, right now I wanted some extra clothes.
He gets 5 garbage bags worth of clothes that he no longer wears, and they're just sitting in the hallway as if, like, that's their final destination.
Hey, man, I have an eBay store. Like, throw me a bone. Dude.
Bro, throw him a bone.
You can come take them.
Yo, seriously, though, you should come over our house one day. Because I need to clean out my closet. My clothes are very expensive. You'll get a nice penny for them. And I also have just like a lot of material goods that I no longer want that you could certainly sell on eBay. Okay. Like stereo systems, surround sound, all kinds of fun stuff.
I like that.
It's yours.
Yeah.
It's yours. Just bring a truck. And,
back up the truck.
And also give us 1 month free of work.
Not a problem.
And also keep trimming our hedges.
You got it.
And also
pack all the stuff
At
up.
this point, you're just trying to think of what else we can get.
100% Guapo.
Keep bringing Subway for hand histories.
We appreciate you. Look at you. You're one of the chosen ones. One of 3 here. You know.
Gracias.
I will say it's kind of nice. I don't have to talk over anybody today. I just got free reign, baby.
You don't have to wait 2 seconds when you speak.
I don't.
You don't have to let someone finish a thought, even though the thought's already been done.
That is true.
A lot of good that happens. Some less cacophony.
Right.
Today's a good day. You made some money, I believe, right?
I did. I was gonna do the In the Muck now, but I think I'm gonna wait for our guest. I think he would be a good addition to the In the Muck, especially because like I had a big win today, so it's weird that I'm the one in the muck. But I do promise you, I'm in the fucking muck. Yeah. So before we get to the usual In the Muck segment that we would lead with, let's get to our main story: Global Poker's response to an accused cheater with mountains, and I mean mountains of evidence.
There's a lot.
Now, I want to give the benefit of the doubt because I'm not a part of Global security team. I don't know what all of the evidence compiled together looks like.
Maybe you should be, though.
But
well, not to cut you off, Matt, they do have 3 professionals.
That is true.
As security.
I would love to know who these professionals are because my fear is that they are somehow Mike Matisow adjacent. And we're talking about like the old UB security team here, trying to comb through what is modern day problems for online poker. Anyway, I do want to extend the benefit of the doubt to Project Baby because we have seen 2 false positives in the past where two people were exonerated in spite of the fact of being publicly accused. That's not the point of all of this. That's not the point of bringing this up, and that's not the point of what we're about to talk about in Global's response. The overall point is that we've done as much as we can as the community. We've looked up hundreds of spots in the fair play check and found them all to be positive hits to the river. Tombos, big shout out, one of our community members, he did some of the math, and the false positive rate to the river, I believe, is 0.001, or maybe it's 0.0001. Anyway, it's a fraction of a percent
Small
likelihood
number.
for there to be a false positive to the river. For there to be a false positive to the river over a dozen examples, it's near impossible, right?
That number to the 12th.
Right. And it compounds. Like at this point, it's been 3 weeks. We think we have somewhere around hundreds of samples. So the likelihood that this is, not something to be concerned over is incredibly low. Yet to this day, Project Baby's account is still active on Global. And now I believe the players have taken it upon themselves to just stop playing. So the entire liquidity pool is now on an unspoken protest as of yesterday. At least that's what the lobby looked like. Today, maybe the traffic picked back up. But as of yesterday evening around 6 p.m., no 1KNL, no 2KNL running. So in getting to the response, obviously the actual, the actual people behind the security aren't going to comment. But David Lyons, who is the, active manager?
De facto.
Yeah, we'll say. The frontward facing. Well, let's see what his actual title is. He's the GM of Global Poker and Chumba Casino. So, take that for what it's worth. He changed his profile picture today too, which is very weird. But anyway, his response showed a tremendous amount of tone deafness with regard to how this issue is being processed and handled from operators. And that's really bad for consumer confidence, right? Global's already operating in a very gray space where they're skirting the official gambling laws state by state.
Call it sweeps cash.
Right, by calling it a sweepstakes, and basically I think that money is exchanged through Amazon gift cards, that type of stuff.
It can be, but also from the sense of you convert fake dollars to real dollars and then can...
Oh, you can actually just cash out cash? Okay. That's interesting. But anyway, so it's basically under the guise of a sweepstakes. Well, hello.
Hello.
We have special guests.
Where's the bathroom?
Right around the corner to your right. That's my shot. All right. Yeah, let's get you boys set. Take your time, get yourself set up. Yeah, that's my shot. That's fine. We'll keep talking about Global. So, they're already kind of operating in a gray space, and consumer confidence is a pretty important aspect of being able to operate in said space. It's not a great look when the guy that you put in charge to handle this basically comes forward and says, I'd love it if there were easy answers. We have 3 experienced ex-professionals who are on the case here. We're not going to divulge what our process is, as we don't want the cheaters to be ahead of the security kind of thing. Sure. And then he continues on and says, basically, the false positive rate is too high at the moment, and the risk of mobbing is too high. However, this new service is clearly a good opportunity to help protect the games, even if it causes some situations like the one where a group of players disagrees with the site approach. Now, that is a clear and utter misunderstanding of the update that was rolled out. As we kind of mentioned, the flop false positive rate prior to the additional variables being added, I think was somewhere around 25%-ish. But once the new rollout came out, that number drastically decreased. Now, when you compound it to turns and rivers, it's less than 1%. We're as close to zero as possible with false positive rates. And when you compound that now over dozens, if not hundreds, of examples that are spread out to the river, it's really tough to make the argument that this isn't being cheated in some capacity. Add in the fact that we have a video where an observer is watching him cheat in real time and pulling hands in real time, the only explanation for which could be that there's another observer doing the exact same thing to frame this guy. The easiest way for Global to know if that's true or not is to just look at the hand that is being accused in real time from that video and check the strategy against GTO Wizard. If he mimicked it, he's cheating. If he did not, then he's probably not. But like, make no mistake, nobody's going to get 95+% accuracy in hundreds of different spots that have been submitted. You know, like that's just not the way good players function. We're all human.
Yeah.
So this is a layup for Global. And they seem to somehow be fucking it up by not suspending his account, not taking the accusations very seriously. If they are investigating, to our knowledge, his account isn't frozen in any capacity, so he could easily be offloading money. And even if his account is frozen in the sense that he can't transfer money, he certainly could do other things to move the money, including dumping, right? The real nail in the coffin here for Lions was Trico, your former coach?
Yeah, he was my first coach.
Yeah, your first coach. And regular lobby holder on Global. Has been battling 2KNL for years. Came into the chat and basically explained like he was a fifth grader how wrong he is about the approach. And his response was, oh, great, a gold coin player has entered the chat.
Right.
Now, the humor of this is on Global Poker, gold coins are their free money. So he's basically calling the biggest winner in Global Poker, or one of the biggest winners in Global Poker history, a man who holds down the lobbies at high stakes, a free money player to the site. And it's just like, if ever there is a more clear indicator that a site doesn't give a shit about you as a consumer or the safety of the game, that's got to be the final spit in the face.
This is a yak moment for real.
Yeah. Yeah, you can only respond with, you absolute cunt.
Yeah, it's bad, poor form.
It's
hard to really double down more, you know?
It is. While
doesn't look good, cuz.
While Keir continues to take a shit, let's introduce our other guests. Tell me if I'm pronouncing this right. Kagumi?
Yeah. What's up?
But it's actually just Christopher, right?
Yeah, it's Christian.
Okay. Or Christian, that's right.
More like a dog. I respond to an inflection more than any particular name.
Did you play much on Global? I know you play online a fair bit.
Yeah, I probably only play like 1,000 hands a month, not that much runs anymore, but I would like to say that all of the people that are saying, what if you were to frame someone, it's not possible, because all you have to do is match the IP of the person playing the hand with who's ever running the solve. I'm not going to be able to IP from your computer and make it look like you're the one on GTO Wizard.
Right. That part's true. I don't know that I don't want to make assumptions, but I don't know that they're doing that level of due diligence. I'm not positive. Well, I am fairly certain that that Wizard doesn't use KYC, so I don't know if they even have the IPs of the people logged in. I'm sure that they do, though, on the back end.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Tombos about that, and they don't have any plans.
Right. But from the site side, it's pretty easy to just work with Wizard and do comparative analysis. I mean, we can get down to the nitty-gritty here and be pretty confident that if a guy is operating at 99% capacity or whatever.
Yeah, no one's taking equilibrium actions like in big pots, like multiple pots.
Right.
It's just not what happens.
Right. And we're not talking about like a sample of 3 here. You know,
yes, of course.
There's a dozen regs that have submitted dozens of samples each where, they have some high level of suspicion that they're being cheated here. And a lot of them are heads up, which is even more damning, I think, in the sense that, I think we can get to an even higher degree of confidence because the Sims we know are going to be perfect. Well, the Sims are the Sims, right? There's no multi-way aspect to deal with.
I mean, he was incredibly brazen too. He didn't even bother switching up. Like there are ways that you can kind of manipulate the system. You can change, bottom card suits, whatever. I've actually played with it a lot, and for the most part, if I wanted to, honestly, I'd be able to avoid detection. But the fact that he was so brazen about it, just, I don't know, it's a little insulting.
It is, but it also is just like, if you just know they're not going to do anything, why not?
Sure. I mean, what's going to stop him? And I'm hesitant to say this on podcast, but I mean, there's other tools that don't have fair play check.
Right. Of course.
You could just use range converter. You can do tons of things.
Yeah.
So like, I'd say within a couple of years, unless we get unless regulated sites open in California, New York, I've been playing online for 10 years or something, and this is probably the most pessimistic I've ever been, even though people have been telling me that it's been dying since I started. Yeah.
I hate to be one of those people, but it's the way the analogy I used is that I feel like when Black Friday hit, we were effectively a part of a dying star. And, it can take years, maybe decades sometimes for that star to finally reach its death. But that was the sensation that I had, was like, from this point forward, everything is about to change.
I mean, I think they've just been operating like in a state of managed decline more than anything. So I don't even know if the sites are going to be willing to invest anything in like promoting game longevity.
Right. Especially now that they're getting more access to like sports books and full-blown casinos where, the problems are a lot smaller. The acquisition rate is a lot higher. The CTAs are worth a lot more in those areas. Like, poker is just so small by comparison. What they can rake off of a table compared to what they can get through having a house edge in slots or blackjack or what have you. It's night and day. There really isn't a whole lot of reason to spend resources here.
Ironically, ACR might actually be one of the safest sites to play on now.
Yeah. Pretty big 180 in like 18
sick.
Months, right?
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
And I don't know that we know that the bot issues there have really been reduced all that much.
Yeah, all I've heard from GTO Wizard Matt, was that they're doing some stuff on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily know what has happened or what's going to, but seemed pretty optimistic about trying to make strides in that front.
Yeah.
I guess we'll only see.
Yeah, I hope that they do, because
they could just be like one of the biggest sites. Very possible.
Yeah, well, I don't even care that much about ACR personally.
Sure.
I think I care more about my interests lie in seeing where the tools evolve. Whether you're talking about GTO Wizard or you're talking about Octopi or a myriad of others that are already on the market.
Mm-hmm.
My interests lie in seeing where the public sphere goes with these tools that kind of make online poker rendered useless. Not useless, but they make the landscape for online poker a lot more challenging, right? And that's not to say that those things don't exist privately or didn't previously exist privately, but now that the genie's kind of out of the bottle, and everybody's aware of them, we have to address it, right? Operators have to address it, and they have to make tough decisions of, do we even want to bother with this? Or do we want to take the global stance of just like, fuck it. Like 200 NL is still going to run, nobody's going anywhere. That kind of thing.
It's very sad. It's real, but sad.
Yeah.
Like, the concern is real.
The concern is definitely real. And, again, this doesn't even really talk about what happens in the app landscape, which our next guest, one Keir Sullivan, he can speak a bit about the app landscape.
Wait. Can I just interrupt you?
Yeah, please.
So I was just on your toilet, lovely toilet.
Yeah, we know.
Who was eating cereal in there? Because I see in the trash can a bowl,
I'll
a
tell
spoon.
I'll tell you what. First and foremost, I'm very confident it's someone in this room. Okay, so we're missing 4 people today. I don't think it's any of them. So I think our culprits are down to Guapo or Landon.
It 1000% was not me.
Right. And if I had to choose,
Landon's playing it cool over there.
No,
not even cracking a smile.
Well, because when I eat cereal and stuff, I use stuff that I put in the dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't use plastic or paper bowls.
Maybe one time though.
If I
you were in a rush, it's okay.
Couldn't find a clean spoon.
If I remembered, I would have remembered. It's not that big of a deal.
Well, it's kind of a big deal to eat cereal and take a shit.
Well, no, you would just use it as the trash can.
So you
wouldn't eat it in the bathroom.
Well,
no, someone ate in the bathroom.
I wouldn't eat it in the bathroom.
No, come on. Why would you go specifically to the bathroom to throw out your cereal
because
bowl?
If there's no other trash cans up here except for the one over there. So if that was full,
likely story.
Just dump it.
Well, I mean, it does sound like he has a lot of intimate knowledge of.
Yeah, he does.
It just sounds like the most common sense thing to do.
Someone's trying to hide something. All right. What was the question?
Cereal Gate.
We're basically just talking about global and the response that they had one David Lyons, and the online landscape kind of moving forward by comparison to like the app landscape.
Yeah. Okay. What's the question?
Well, I suppose the assertion from my standpoint is that what we're seeing unfold in the online operator space now has probably been slowly decaying for years. And it's kind of being brought to the forefront because there's all these new tools that are publicly available, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. But the true nefarious activities where people are just absolutely getting filleted alive are more likely to be happening in the app games where there's very little oversight, very little security. You're dealing with, games going belly up all the time, not getting paid, rake being through the roof. And then on top of all that, collusion. I'm sure people are just happily using Wizard there and not, really getting caught. Who the fuck is going to tell on you?
Yeah, I mean, and people have been fair playing checking the Wizard. And I don't know.
Who do you report to, though? Who do you report to?
The club owner who will just take their money.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
Fucking Wild West.
Yeah, that's true. It is Wild
Shoot
West.
Shoot them, Yeah, in some ways, personally, I would trust the app game landscape more than some of the online websites, because if you do find a fair play check, like, you actually have immediate recourse. And also, like, depending on how small the app games are, like, you kind of know who you're playing with. So they sometimes they can be safer, but yeah, I mean, it's been the Wild West for a long time. You have to deal with insane rake. You have to fade not getting paid out by not just the club owners, but also your agent, who might just, he's, fucking you. But yeah, the online sphere is facing a lot of troubles, and it feels like poker operators and, in some sense, people who are behind real-time assistance software like GTO Wizard, or like stuff that can be used for RTA.
Yeah.
It feels like they're kind of lagging behind and, stepping it up. Wizard is certainly trying, but they're not the only one.
No, yeah. I mean, I purposely don't name names because I don't want to incentivize people.
No, I don't want to either. But they aren't.
But yeah, and I think that point's important because, like, basically that's what I was just saying before you came in, is that I'm more interested to see how the landscape of poker tools evolves and software more so than the operators. For a couple reasons.
More so than I feel like the operators are the ones that really have to make the decision to provide a safe landscape.
They do. I guess
short term, it could be like Wizard doing fair play check or adding like delay or whatever.
Yeah.
But long term, it's absolutely up to the operators, and we have to kind of fade them making the decision to prioritize short term gains. Like, for example, them having cheaters is actually kind of a good thing, because it's like more people playing high stakes, more people raking. It will increase for the short term, and but long term, like, it's just going to kill online. So I hope they see I hope they recognize that and they go for it. I don't know if they will.
They've recognized that for a long time. I mean, PokerStars said 8 years ago that they're operating under the idea of a managed decline.
Mm.
And then they fucking got killed, and GG's killing them. So maybe they're not the example to look towards.
Right, but GG is killing them because they're willing to kind of branch out beyond the hard and narrow, or the straight and narrow, right? Like, GG's not operating with the same guardrails that PokerStars is.
That's true, but they also understand some of what app game runners kind of already understood a while ago, and it's like, the way you make money is by killing the break-even rags.
Yeah.
that's and they
Stars understood that too. That's why they took away Supernova Elite, and
they needed to give it back to their VIPs.
Exactly.
They needed, and that's exactly what GG does.
Right.
And that's what app game runners do. Like, the whole grift on app game runners, like, you have the app game, the club owner will just sometimes go in there and punt, but just fucking gets like 150% rake back, and he's actually winning or breaking even.
So wait, am I the whale? Getting 80% rake back, am I the whale?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it depends on the game, but yeah, I mean, a lot of the weaker players will get like the whales get very, very good rake back, and it's the rags that like don't know how to like qualify their own skill level that end up getting killed in games like this.
Yeah. The reason why I said I'm interested in to see the evolution of the tools more so than the operators is not because I think it's on the tools to police the current state of the game, but because I think there's a big opportunity, since they're already in the technological development area. I think there's a big opportunity for them to become the third party, let's call it next layer of security, right? Like, ultimately it'd be on the operators to adopt these third party, security levels, but it's very similar to like what McAfee did with antivirus. You're too young, but essentially, like in the early 90s or mid 90s, whatever, when the internet first became a thing, to my knowledge, or like the way that I understand the story is that McAfee became the biggest antivirus software out there, basically by figuring out how to create viruses for PCs. You know?
I did hear about that. Yeah.
So to some degree, like there's just a massive opportunity if operators care enough to continue to operate for the long term, for these third-party engineers to shift off of creating study tools and shift into creating anti-RTA detection.
RTA detection, yeah.
Or RTA detection.
I feel like Wizard's trying to do that by like getting into the back end of ACR or whatever the heck they were talking about.
I think they're partnered with, they publicly said ACR, WPT Global, and one other group. I can't recall what it is off the top of my head.
Definitely not Ignition.
Probably not Ignition. It's so crazy, man. The sites that were like believed to be the softest sites and still beatable a year ago are now the most rampantly cheated.
Yep.
Ignition, Global, top of the list. ACR was always thought to be difficult, but also just had the bot rings and shit like that to deal with. Now all of a sudden they're like a little bit more secure.
Yeah, I mean ACR is I feel like for American players, ACR is probably, I mean, what I've heard is like it's just the toughest site, but it's safer.
Yeah.
People get banned, people get refunds. No one gets refunds from Ignition.
No.
I think someone got like $3 once.
They've given out some to like PL
he plays 2K. He got $3.
I'm pretty sure Landon still owed money by them. just for tweeting.
Really?
Just for showing up. They're like, you know what? We're gonna stiff you. Fuck off. I'll call shit out. I don't give a shit. He's staying real quiet.
Yeah.
It's been long enough, man.
It's been a while.
they didn't pay their goddamn ambassador. Let's go.
Well,
That's funny.
What do you think you actually want GTO Wizard to do? Like, we talked to Tombos. They said they're not going to do KYC. They said delay is a non-starter.
What's KYC?
Know your customer.
No, like analyzing everything in real time. They said that it's just not practical due to the amount of data they'd have to like transfer back and forth. Like I've talked to them a decent amount about it, and it seems like he wants to help, but I don't actually know exactly what they can do at this point.
I think personally, I would like to, and they might already be doing this, so I don't want to speak in a negative way, but I would like to see them make that stuff available for operators who opt in, right? So the operators use KYC, or at least the regulated ones. I don't know to the degree that like Global and Ignition and other sites like that operate with KYC, but I guess the point that I'm getting at is if they can collaborate and Wizard has all of this data that they can offer them, then the additional layers that the operators already possess seem like they'll become more potent in detecting cheating. And the other thing about the Wizard, I guess the onus that falls on them or whatever the case may be, they're doing pretty much as anybody else in the space, if not more. And I don't know necessarily that they're even going to be able to help with some of the most rampant ways that cheating occurs. Like, let's be clear. If Project Baby is found to be guilty here, he's the laziest fucking cheater of all time, right? And the fact that he's still operating kind of just incentivizes like, okay, well, what we know then is that Global just doesn't give a shit about security. And if you do want to cheat, this is a good soft site to do it on, that type of thing. But it doesn't even begin to scratch the surface with things like multi-accounting and card sharing. And I think at the end of the day, as
did you see the PLO card sharing thing?
Yeah. But
I thought that was cool.
I did think it was cool. I think it was a very innovative way of going about it. How effective do you think it's going to be, though?
I have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. If you're sitting at a table with a person, you say, "I have the ace of diamonds," but no longer that you can't do that anymore.
Right.
It should be effective, right?
Yeah. Oh, I meant. Sorry, I should have rephrased my question. How practical do you think it will be for this to be implemented wide scale? Because the effectiveness, I agree with you. I think it's high.
I don't know why it wouldn't be.
Yeah. I guess.
What do you like? What are we lacking in practicality here?
I think customers just there's this notion. It's why the big blind ante took so long. Again, you're too young. But we begged for big blind ante for years with WSOP before they finally implemented.
Okay.
And the pushback was always it'll alienate the rec. And I think that
no, the rec doesn't care. You know who cares? It's the fucking like It's the guy that like is a reg and hates straddling.
Exactly.
Those are the guys that get mad.
Exactly.
The guys who play like fucking 1 million hands a year and break even.
Like, do you think that there would be a world where you could see Poker Bros implementing something like that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That actually to me would be. It would increase my consumer confidence in app games tenfold if they started to implement things like this. If they started to work with GTA.
I've seen Poker Bros do show that they understand why they make money and how to continue to make money.
Yeah.
And they've done that by like adding new games a whole bunch, adding different
5 card, 6 card.
Yeah, 5 card, 6 card, 6+, bomb pots. Like they're on top. They're on the pulse.
Yeah.
So like if you're asking me if I think they could do it, yeah. If we see a successful,
I like that because I think that the difference is that a lot of these traditional operators are very old. And I don't even necessarily mean that they're headed by old people, but
they're like IBM.
They're just headed by traditionalists, right?
Yeah.
And they're all convinced that they know what the rec wants and what will alienate the rec. Yeah. And all they care about is rec dollars, right? Because they think that's what drives games. And to some degree, they're right. You know, games don't run without a whale, yada, yada. But I think that they forget what the mind of a gambler is like and how quick people are to not give up their fix when they have it at their fingertips. Yeah. Implementing what ACR has done with the 5 card PLO, I agree with you. I think that it's potentially a widespread way of reducing or completely eliminating collusion. At least card sharing.
You can still collude if you get on the flop. I'm not. You might want to clarify this for me. I'm not sure if it gets if your cards get shuffled back in.
They do immediately. So what happens
after the flop, though?
Yes, they do.
So what's interesting is like you could collude to give your buddy more outs.
No.
Yeah, you could.
No, because what happens is, okay, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, if you block your buddy's outs, you know what I mean. Like you could fold and then give him more outs. I mean, it's.
But what needs to be clear. So this is very important. It's a big misunderstanding for the layperson. That doesn't actually change the true statistics or the true odds, right? Because the assumption is that you're dealing with a full deck always. If you have a flush draw, you assume that all 9 of your outs are in the deck, right? And that's how you come up with your equity.
Yeah, and cheating is when you find out more information. You figure out how many outs you have.
Right. So if you know that you have less than, it's cheating. But if somebody tells you like I folded 2 hearts, all that does is give you more confidence that your original assumption that all 9 hearts are in the deck is still true.
I mean, it's just more information, and more information is going to be useful. Also, like I think there's going to be some like weird big brain plays. I don't fully understand it. I do understand it. But like, if you could probably intuit due to like based on action if someone has like a weak flush draw, and so you could maybe like try and give yourself more outs by forcing them out of the pot. I feel like it does add a slight change to game mechanics, even for people who aren't cheating, potentially.
But I mean, I don't want to overly debate this point, but
okay.
No. It's this is a me thing that I was prefacing that I'm gonna say something that's pushing back.
Okay.
Getting people to fold. First of all, unconfirmed, but like even if you can get it to confirm, right? Getting people to fold your outs back into the deck is only getting you back to the original baseline equity that your hand has. That's truly not worth anything. It's knowing that your outs are gone that's worth something, because that will deviate your play, right? You're not deviating your play if you know that your outs are in the deck. You're assuming your outs are in the deck anyway.
I respond.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, certainly when I've played PLO and like I'm in a spot like 3 or 4 ways and someone pots it, like I'll be like, if I'm heads up and someone pots it, like I'm going to assume that all my outs are in there, like on the turn, for example, right? But if someone called the flop where there's a flush draw and it's 3 ways, I'm like, okay, this guy's calling a jack high flush draw a lot of the time.
Right.
But then when he pots on the turn and that guy folds in a normal PLO game, and I'm getting correct odds versus the pot or whatever the fuck, right? I'm getting correct odds with my assuming the deck is rich, yeah. Yeah. I would still fold because I'm like, I think that guy probably had like a draw, you know, if I had a combo or whatever, you know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying.
But now in this case, now I know my odds are actually true once he folds. So
but right, right. But the thing is,
sound effects.
The thing is that the thing is in the previous example, that is some amount of knowledge that the deck is lacking, or the deck has fewer of your outs. Right, so collusion's always effective in reducing or providing you information that gives you much more clarity.
I think we're slightly talking parallel lines here. All I'm saying is that I just think it changes how you play optimally when you introduce this reshuffle and thing.
Well, the example you just gave, you would be playing suboptimally. You would be deviating based off of an assumption. And I think it's pretty
reasonable that someone calls the flop with like some
very
weak
reasonable
draws, and then you have a combo draw, and then if he shuffles back in his cards, you actually have supposedly more outs, or whatever. I don't.
But you
know.
understand what I'm saying, right? If we were running this through a solve, it would always just assume that the same scenario was always true, whether the cards were shuffled back in or not. It would always assume that the outs were there.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna run 3-way fucking PLO solves that are worth anything, but.
Sure.
That's
in a theoretical land, it's going to exist in some time, though.
I mean, I think that they would include, like, potentially, I think that they would include what our opponent might call the flop with.
The post-flop bunching effect?
Exactly.
Sure.
Well, I mean, why not?
Yeah, I mean...
And so this reduces the post-flop bunching effect.
Well, this is a big reason why multi-way solves are so inefficient, right?
And there are a lot of assumptions or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, the issue becomes that the more hands and the more ranges that you take over more streets, the equilibriums are just, they're basically multiples. Because we can't have pure vision over, it's not like heads up where we know exactly what hands have folded, what hands have called, at what frequencies, right? So, I get the point that you're making. It's relatively valid, but I guess the overarching point that I'm making is that any information you may be able to glean from cards that are folded back into the deck will never be nearly as powerful as just having perfect information over what cards have been folded.
Oh, of course not. I think it's a great thing. I just do think it does maybe change how you play a little bit sometimes, but I think it's awesome. And I think it's really cool that, you know, ACR, you know, is probably like the biggest American site.
Gotta be close.
I mean, Ignition's pretty large too, I guess, but is actively like making a significant change to a game for game security. I feel like that's very positive note, as well as GTO Wizard kind of coming out and being like, we're trying, guys, we're trying.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if ACR is able to push this all the way through to no limit. Like, I think if it gets to the point of no limit, then like that's pretty significant change.
Reshuffle with no limit?
Yeah,
I guess so.
Not necessarily because it would impact the game that much, but because that's obviously the most widespread game.
Yeah.
Right. So if it gets to that degree, then I think that it has a shot to get picked up by other operators. It has a shot to become more commonplace, similar like Big Blind Ante, where you know, we just look back on it 5 years from now and go, huh, it's crazy we used to play without the reshuffle.
Yeah.
You know?
How did we do that?
Yeah, it's like how did poker ever exist?
Cheaters were so bad that we could still win.
Imagine.
I feel like that happens every so often, like new technological advance.
It has to, right? Otherwise the game dies. Because too much is happening on the back end to get us closer to an equilibrium, right? At least in a heads-up venue.
We're just trying to not kill the game.
Yeah, I think largely we're just trying to monkey wrench things. You know, we'll talk a little bit about like the live game that Keir and I played, but we're just trying to monkey wrench things in a way where like the most commonly understood version of this game, as far as like vision over the solve goes, is almost impossible to reach. Like, you just stop encouraging heads up no limit hold'em in ring games, and suddenly, you know, everybody's forced to freestyle. There are a lot of ways to incentivize that.
I'm having trouble following your sentence, but the conclusion. I agree. That's really cool.
Yeah, like even the 7 deuce bounty is like just enough where it's almost impossible to do any sort of meaningful sims.
Yeah.
That include this hand
It's
because
true.
you can't
run a sim and put 16 combos as 7 deuce.
Well, putting it in isn't the problem. It's getting the solver to understand that there's 10 big blinds of EV attached to winning with this hand, in spite of the fact that it's torching at every fucking decision point.
Yeah.
It'll happily add it, but it'll also tell you to fold like every time you flop no equity. We're like, no, baby, we got to run this one.
Well, there's just also the in between of you never know how hard someone's going to go with their construction with 7 deuce.
Yeah.
Like whether they're going to play cold call 3-bets, whether they're going
Right,
to not
but-
3-bet.
But if you knew it was worth 10 big blinds in EV when you're able to get it through, the solver could figure that out for you. It's just
As like what percentage you should be doing it.
yeah,
In certain
yeah. It would
configs.
just give you frequencies.
How to
Like
fit
open
7 deuce
3-bet,
into a
4-bet.
theoretical range, my
Right.
lord.
Yeah. It'd be fucking wild, man. It would be wild.
I feel like you already figured it out.
Oh, stop. I have a great example of how I do not have it figured out.
Never meet your heroes. You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Oh, he knows about this one?
No, he doesn't. But he was memeing me today because I fucked him up good.
Oh yeah, buddy. You
now
played.
he wishes he never met
You
me.
played that well.
I played great. What do you mean, man? I had a pair versus the guy who bluffs more than anyone else in the fucking game. What do you want me to do?
Okay. The first time you met me, what did I do? What did I limp with in a stand-up game?
Well, the first time I met you, I thought you were an idiot.
Yeah. Okay, but
So there's a difference.
okay.
My impression has changed.
whether you still think I am or not, what did I limp with?
Ace queen off.
Ace queen off.
Yeah.
Okay, and so then you over limp.
But you limped under the gun that time.
Okay. You bet an ace 9-6 board where you never have an ace, asshole.
Oh, that's not true. Oh, see, you think you know.
Okay, ace deuce. Congratulations.
No, most of my offsuit aces, 3-ways there, we're knuckling it
What do you
down.
mean, ace jack? You knuckle ace jack?
No,
there? You stack
no.
off ace jack.
Yeah, of course I stack off ace jack, but I don't stack off like ace 8.
No, of course not.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, but you're
Ace
betting.
deuce through ace 8, check.
You know what? I'm
Ace 9 even,
conversation
check.
over. Don't meet your heroes.
I took a 1 big blind stab at the ace 9-6. He raises. I call. I have jack 6.
Raise big.
He did raise big. Turns like the deuce of diamonds. I have the jack
Three
of diamonds. 6 of diamonds is on the board. We're golden, baby. We're rolling. I check. Bet's like half pot. I'm in.
No, I bet big.
He might have bet big.
I bet like 4,200, I think.
In the 5? Yeah.
And it's a 50 for you.
Yeah. Okay.
This is how you explain hands to me.
That's big.
You just fuck up sizes on purpose.
Oh, by the way, the stand-up game's gone.
Half pot.
The stand-up game is on.
I'm sitting.
I'm not.
Yeah, but I'm sitting. Am I bluffing you?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. You think you don't have 7-8 off there? Fuck out of here.
I mean, that's the nuts. Let's be honest.
Wow.
7-8 has like 90% equity versus
not
you
when
there,
I had
by
a
the way.
6. Peel. River.
Peel.
6. I forgot the bet. I forgot the bet. That's why I'm bad.
That would have made that play so great. Yeah, you talk about
I should
calling
just hit you
down.
with, like,
no, hold on.
10%.
You talk about calling down with bottom pair because I'm the only guy that bluffs.
Right.
But the second you make your hand, you're gonna just bet.
No, I checked.
Yeah, I know, but you're saying it would have been better if you had bet.
Well, because you had an ace.
Were
Well,
you
'cause
joking?
You just would have beat 10 and you would have raised.
Yeah,
Wait
exactly.
to be results oriented.
Well, yeah.
That's how the show works.
What do you want me to
Never
do
meet
here,
your
man?
heroes.
You checked back an ace. I'm sad I missed a little bit of value there.
I mean, I only check back bad aces.
That's true.
That's
true.
why you got to lead.
That's why you got to lead, my G.
I remember I was playing with you like 2 weeks ago, and you were stuck like 70,000 or whatever.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I know, and you're like steaming, like I should have fucking left. I'm like, well, you're playing pretty good. You're like, you think I care if I was playing good? I'm stuck.
Right. I don't give a fuck. I just want to win. And by the way, what he's not referencing is I was stuck a little bit. I played a 200K pot versus a guy who walks in and goes, hold on, I need to go get my 100K marker. They won't give it to me here. Disappears, loses a 250K hand of blackjack, comes back with 100K as I'm racking and just sits down. I was like, well, I'm going to have to stay for this one. Yeah. 3 hands in, I got the Jack 9 suited on 997, turn 7.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 7s.
Mm-hmm. He actually made you show first.
I was there for
He
that.
did make me show. That is true. That is true.
He's like I play a lot of PLO, so like I wasn't sure if I was good.
Yeah, that motherfucker slow rolled the shit out of me.
It was great. It was great.
Man, I forgot you were there. You didn't play much.
I did not. I was up for like 40 hours, so give me some slack.
I'll give you a little. I mean, the game was really out of fucking hand. So if you at all were looking to splash around, it wasn't going to be too tough. Why don't you introduce yourself now that we're an hour into the conversation? Nobody knows who you are, man.
Really?
I mean, only the 320 people who watch Bally's Big Bet.
God. Fuck, man, that one hurt.
To be fair, the crossover audience is really, really dense between Only Friends and Bally's Big Bet.
Yeah, my name's Keir Sullivan. I live in Vegas right now.
That's Keir. K-E-I-R.
Ski.
Not K-I-E-R.
Yeah, no, people keep spelling it that way.
Yeah, it's not like that's how the English language works. I before E,
okay, but
after C.
But now it's before K.
Right, or K.
Are we allowed to swear in this podcast?
Yes,
is that a thing?
away. Go nuts.
Okay,
Go
great,
nuts.
great. Keir Sullivan. I've been playing quite a bit of poker recently. Past like 2 or 3 years, I've been playing poker.
What were you doing prior?
Fuck, that's. How prior?
I mean, I'm really just asking about whenever you were on the apps.
No, I mean, I'm still on the apps now.
No. The competition you had with your roommate.
Are we talking about the one where we could get like who could get the most men to give us?
Yeah.
I told you that?
Yeah, you told the whole table that.
Why do I say these things? I just don't want people to like me, so I tell them stories.
The other day we were talking about pickleball, and I don't know if I brought up Justin. I brought up somebody, and his immediate response. His immediate response was, "Oh, he's cute. Oh wait, no, I'm straight. Why did I say that?"
No, I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. And I was like, oh, why did I say that?
Honestly, I respect it. Whether it's true or a bit, the humor derived from it for me is just because it comes off so authentic that
it was genuine.
Yeah.
I was a bit confused.
Yeah,
I am a bit confused.
Yeah, and I believe that. And honestly, it fits very well with your persona. I think that you're just absolutely crushing it.
Yeah, Keir the Queer. That's what they called me in middle school.
Yeah, but they were being mean then.
I honestly, like, it became endearing at some point.
I was Fat Matt, if it makes you feel any better.
Irv the
perv out there in the streets, you know?
Okay, I have a story.
Kids are not very original. They just pick rhymes.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Keir. I play a good amount of poker. I don't know, man. Fucking like pickleball.
All right, well,
he's basically
that's
you.
That, yeah. I wouldn't go that far.
We're similar.
I don't like pickleball that much anymore.
That's not true.
It's beating me down, man.
Really?
It's beating me down.
You kind of did cap out, didn't you?
Yeah. Poker, pickleball. I'm at my ceiling.
You said you were a bad 4-0, but I asked was it Glenn like what he thought you were? And you're like, oh, like a 3-4.
Yeah, that's a bad 4-0.
Yeah, okay. As long as you know.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Glenn's so good.
My duper is a 4.08.
Let's go.
No, that's bad.
That
means
bad?
I can't play 3-5 anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
I fucked up.
What is that? It's like your ranking or something?
Yeah.
Landon's good. Landon's athletic as shit. He's so big. I'm a big guy, and looking at Landon, I feel like I get fight or flight, bro. Yeah, he's taller.
I just lost your mic. Yours. Figure it out.
I can still hear him.
I can still hear him.
Yeah.
I can still hear you. Throw up a 2 if you don't want to.
Fat Matt.
Bobby's room. This was, what the fuck is today? Thursday?
Today's Thursday.
Okay, so this was Tuesday night. Around, I can't tell if guy from Montana. All right, I don't think they can hear me.
It should be back on now because now I can hear you.
I just think they're trolling me, actually.
Yeah,
Someone
probably.
put up a 2 in the chat. I think they hear me. All right. So 2 nights ago, I was actually even. I wasn't even stuck, which makes this so much worse.
Oh my god, you're staying this hand?
Yeah. I'm in the muck, bro.
7 deuce?
I'm in the muck. It was against 7 deuce.
Let's go.
Not this one, man.
Yeah. So I found myself. Look, I've been losing a lot lately. All right, Keir. I don't know if you know.
I know.
Last 2 months, I've been getting my head kicked in. It hasn't been going well. A lot of kings into aces. A lot of set over sets.
I think you had kings versus queens today, but yeah.
I did. Well, he had queens.
Yeah, he had queens.
I thought he hit a queen.
No, he hit a fucking set off versus your set on the second run out.
Oh man, that's unlucky.
He's like, oh god, he's unbeatable. And I'm looking at him.
So fucking unlucky. Sorry, Marcus. Maybe things are turning around. Today might have been the turnaround. Let's go. We're back on the come up, baby.
Please.
I mean, we had a pretty big come up, but yeah, I ran into the quads 3 times in one session.
Wow.
You were there for it. So it's been ugly. I've been in the fucking muck, and part of being in the muck is you get a little bit of brain fog. You know, I'm no robot, man. I'm not immune to this shit. Sometimes you get beaten down to a degree where you just start to question your own decision-making process. And I find myself in a weird one versus a very tipsy knock fam.
That guy's just permanently drunk, man.
I know.
I swear to God.
He just came from the Knights game. I thought he was drunker than he was, but he was actually less drunk. But still, nonetheless, he was on one. Hand happens. Brewer's to my left, and the rest of the game is like pretty soft.
Brewer?
Yeah, he snuck in there late night. So the hand happens. Knock is about 30K effective, give or take. I think we have a replay up of it. But don't mind the numbers. They're going to be a little bit off. He jammed the river for 7,500, so he's actually 2K deeper than this. So 29.5. We get an open. We get an open under the gun to 300.
Just call?
It's 1-1. I just called with the ace-9 suited. Got Brewer on the button, or on the cutoff, and then knock on the button. Knock squeezes the 2,200. Comes back, goes call. We see a flop of 10-8, 5-2 spades. Check. Knock bets like 4 or 5 into 7, give or take. I thought about raising, but you know that look Knock gets where it's like, I have an overpair and I don't give a fuck. I will just put in all of the money right here, right now.
Yeah. Sure.
And by I have an overpair, I mean like I have ace king with a spade and like there's no way in hell you're getting me to fold kind of thing.
Sure.
That was what I was feeling in the moment, right? So I was just like, well, I don't want to raise and just get it in here. It feels pretty dusty. Like I'm not running great.
We peel. That's okay.
We peel. Turn king of clubs. Okay.
Fuck.
This should slow him down a little bit, right?
No. Why would that slow him down?
Well, because it's knock and he gets a little afraid of overcards sometimes, you know. Maybe if he has jacks, he's not going to go all in kind of thing. So he has three flags and then 7,500 in small chips.
Wait, so he has 5K behind?
No, 7,500.
Oh my God.
So he has 3 flags and then 7,500 in small chips. I check. He instantly grabs the 3 flags. He has no concept of what the pot size is. He has no idea what the effective stacks are. He just knows he has 3 white chips and they're going to be in the middle. So he puts them in the middle. And my immediate read when that happened was this motherfucker has 7 deuce. It was like, I'm not saying he's not going to bet the king, but I think he's going to at least pause for concern, you know? And so I'm like, this motherfucker has 7 deuce. So I'm running through all the scenarios in my head. I was like, do I jam here? Or do I just call and then call again? And eventually I'm just like, I'm just going to call and then call again. So I call. River, ace of diamonds.
Oh.
I check. Instantly jam 7,500 into 48K. 47K.
You don't fold, do you?
You would think that, right? But it's been going bad, Keir.
No, you're fucking with me.
It's been going so
you're
bad.
You're fucking with me.
And I thought to myself...
You're not human.
I thought to myself, 75 big blinds is a lot of money, Keir. You know? How could he ever have a bluff here, Keir?
Here, bro.
How could he ever have a bluff? He's jamming 7,500.
You figured it out on the turn.
This is what's going through my head in this fog that I'm living in.
He didn't fold.
I'm like, I could
7,500 into 50K, and you fucking folded.
I'm like, I could fold here and only be stuck 18,000 for the day. And, you know, just call it. Just call it a day. Just say, hey, you know what? They got me today.
No.
He's never bluffing.
No.
He has ace king every time.
You're not human.
He just has ace king every time.
You've got an ace, man.
I folded face up.
No, you didn't.
He showed me 7 deuce of spades.
No, you didn't.
He showed me 7-2 of spades.
You're not real.
Bro, he showed me 7-2 of spades.
Keir, man.
You're kind of bad, bro.
I'm down bad. I'm down so bad. This is one of the worst hands I think I've ever played in my entire career.
What if you just had Jack 9?
I know. I get it. Well, I don't think well, maybe, whatever. I can't make excuses at this point.
Here, bro. You folded.
I don't know.
You
I folded it.
an ace, man.
I let it go.
You folded for
I just let it go.
You folded for beat.
I had the 9 of spades. You can't have Jack 9.
He used the never bluff sizing.
Jack 9,
Right.
Jack 9 of clubs, my
He
guy?
gets it. He used the never bluff sizing.
Jack 9 of hearts?
He used the always bluff sizing on turn, though.
I know. He really did use the always bluff sizing on turn.
What if you went like thin for value with like an ace 3 or whatever?
Bro, I can't believe I
Just
folded.
like yeeted it in the river and ace. Like, I guess I can get
You
called by a
actually
king.
folded?
I
fucking-
shit you not.
Dude, he folded. I had to fucking just accept it and be like, it's all good, champ. You fucking
I shit
idiot.
you not. I had to take the next day off.
You still have that 5%
That's
swap.
bad. That is bad.
That was at 5. Yeah.
That is bad.
It's so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah,
Look
it's
at him
really
smile and laugh. Look how he thinks it's so funny.
Well, you gotta keep your customers happy sometimes, you know?
Yeah, you do that by calling.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Knock isn't going anywhere. He's
Knock's not going anywhere, but like, you know,
where's the other customer?
well, you know, I took a day off and today I got a seat in the main game.
He told you. I was kind of wondering about that.
Yeah, I mean,
I see you like perked up.
I was in the 25-50 game that day.
I didn't even have the main game.
In his defense, he lost 50 the other day, but then won 60 today, so he made money by folding to get the main game seat.
Exactly.
You ran pretty good today.
He
Bro.
sees the long con.
Cope, seed, cope. Fucking hell, man.
Is that how you explain it to your backers, Berkey?
I don't have backers.
I'm the backer, man.
I'm kidding.
Landon has 5%. That's the only person
Really?
that I have to torture with these hand
I had to
histories.
fucking sit here and listen to him fold an ace 9 of spades on a river ace for B nothing.
Do you want 10% of him? I'll short him.
If it can be a year-long tab, then yeah.
Sure.
All right, you got yourself a 10% crossbook. Whatever you want it, buddy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Keir's about to go broke within the year.
That one had me that one had me buried deep, man.
We talked about pot odds with Melissa.
Bro, it has nothing to do with game mechanics. It has nothing to do with pot odds or me. It's just literally going brain dead for a few minutes. Don't act like you've never fucking gone brain dead. I watched you call off. Fuck you. You know what? Fuck you. I watched him.
What
bet.
hand is this?
He had 10-7 on Jack 9X turn 8 versus one of our favorite players in the game.
All right, he's
from
bad. He's
Wyoming.
shitty straight.
Yes, he has shitty straight. He check raises the turn.
I didn't even have 10-7. I had 7-6.
Oh yeah, that's right. He had 7-6. God, it makes it so much worse. It was Jack 9 5.
At least I didn't fucking fold.
It was Jack 9 5 8. Okay,
probably
listen.
should've folded that
Wait
one.
till you hear this. Jack 9 5 turn 8. He check raises.
Yes, we have shitty straight.
Shitty straight. His shitty walk. He has the shitty walk.
He
gets called.
Mexico straight.
Okay, he gets called, right? He bets 10,000 on the river into like 10K.
No, pot was way larger.
Okay, even worse. Certainly worse. Maybe into 20K.
I bet like 20K into 20K.
Okay. And then got jammed on for 20K more.
10K more. It was
Okay.
5 stacks of black chips.
Okay. Well, let's be clear. The bet itself has its own problems, all right? Anyway, he bets 20K on the river and gets jammed on for 10,000 more. Goes into the fucking vortex of hell.
The vortex.
The vortex. Well, I was going to say the void because there's no way anything was happening in his brain at that point. It was literally just like a chimp clapping fucking cymbals
From Toy Story.
and a hamster that's lying dead in the wheel. Like nothing's happening, but he tortured us for 6 minutes. So here's what happens while all this is going on. Sean tries to ease his pain and goes, "I like you." And picks up his hand and is about to fully roll it over for Keir to see that he is Queen 10. I'm sitting next to him. I grab the hand and I slam it face down. I go, "Sean, don't do that." Keir somehow still finds a call with the third nuts.
I wanted to go home. 10K to go home was worth
They'll
it.
let you walk to the cage and cash that out, my man.
Keir,
I can't walk through the cage with 5 stacks of blacks playing Bobby's.
he was a time thief. So instead of just
And that
leaving,
hand was burrowed deep into my skull of like, oh, that's the no bluff size. I've seen the no bluff size before.
This is different, man.
Look,
No, this
pot
is
odds,
different.
pot
This
odds.
is for sure different. Look,
10K to win 70K.
bro.
You know,
You don't have to
You want to
preach
know
to
what
me.
was going through my head?
Yeah.
Nothing.
It was a free roll. Okay. Well, first of all, you know, some of the logic was that I've been winning pots off this guy. I mean, he's a great guy. I like him. He's nice. Always been really nice to me. Taller than me, which I don't like.
He almost showed you. He almost rolled over the nuts. So you
No,
said-
yeah, we're tight. We're tight. We're friends.
Like this.
Yeah, no, I know. But I had been winning every single pot off him. Every time I play with him, and I was like, maybe this is where he makes his stand.
Sure.
I was like, maybe he just has two queens here.
You had the opposite thought process that I had versus knock.
Yeah,
It happens, man. It's what being in the muck is all about, right? Like, you're still human at the end of the day. At some point, wires get crossed. And no matter how many times I'm put in that spot, I could be put in that spot versus knock 1,000 times. I might fold once. And it just so happened that it's 1 of 1 right now. It's you know, you burn money in very torturous ways sometimes in this game, and there's no getting around it.
Hey, it's
I'm
okay.
with you before he was going to show his cards to you.
Okay,
Bro,
well, okay.
It was wild.
I'll be honest with you. Berkey is playing the story up a little bit.
Did I not physically grab the cards out of his hand and put them face down?
You can lie with facts. Look, okay. No, he was holding and he was showing you. I didn't think he was going to show me.
Oh,
He didn't say, I like you. You really should fold.
he did say that.
But this guy, you know, I mean, he's a salesman. You know,
Yeah.
you don't trust salesmen.
That's true. That is
And
true.
look, even if I lost, it's fine to make a bad play. It's fine to play bad poker.
Oh, that's all I wanted to hear you say, buddy. Because I played bad poker. Now we've come full circle. We're in the copium boat together, big guy.
Yeah,
This just hurts me, man. I'm sinking behind the microphone.
Oh yeah, the fucking slave to the sim over here. He's not okay.
I'm fine.
He's just not okay.
What do you even mean?
Look, I'm okay, but folding the ace 9 of spades,
Yeah, it hurts.
dude.
It hurts.
We make fun of Lang for folding to half a
Bro,
big bet.
I get it.
You
That is
can't
pretty
make fun
bad.
of him anymore.
That is
now,
pretty bad.
Now I understand. Although a half a big.
Unironically, I would shove king queen there for value.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what Jungle was doing.
No, he meant to spot with you with ace 9.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I would. There's no fucking universe where I would fold ace 9 versus you
Well, he'd also choose a different turn size.
You did full versus me once when I was torching.
with the 7 deuce.
Yeah, that was really, that was
torching.
awesome.
I get got by 7 deuce more than everybody else because I know my own image and I know
You're
that
like,
everyone.
you never do this.
I just know that everyone knows I don't fucking fold.
I don't fucking fold. No one bluffs me.
They bluff you.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I don't fold though.
I know, but they're just they're sly about it. They bluff me too. They're just very low key about it.
Of course they do.
It's just never like the spot where like, oh,
The thing is, bluffs only work versus me when I don't have anything.
Yeah.
And even if I don't have anything, I might just rebluff you because I'm.
that's why Roy actually tilts me, because every time he wins me with a bluff in my face, it's always the best fucking hand.
Always.
It's him turning like ace high into a bluff where he could happily just check down
Or a pair.
and smashed me. It's like, bro, you think I had that beat? Like, we're not having this conversation if I could beat your fucking high card.
No, I'm the type of guy that like bluffs and then calls a jam because I have a pair blocker.
Yeah. Oh, that's
I've
been
right. I've been right. You only need to be right once and then you're hooked, like slots.
That's legit what's gotten me out of tournaments.
Really?
100%. I'm going to run this river bluff because I have key blockers here.
Yeah.
And then they raise.
It's like, oh, I
And
blocked
I'm
the
like,
nuts.
whoa, wait a second here. I blocked the nuts and I have a pair.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Call. Oh, top set.
Has it ever worked?
No. Maybe once, but if it did, I don't remember. I'm in the muck, man. I don't fucking remember anything.
Yeah.
You know?
We can just not do that again.
We're just out here trying to improve every day, Landon. We're just
Yeah,
out here
but
trying
like
to
some
improve
days the
every day.
improvement is just not folding for a bead nothing.
Bro, I fucking understand.
You play 1-2 Landon. Like, what are you saying?
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah,
Your
fuck off.
micro stakes. Go
No one-
fucking
no one
stream.
gives a shit about
Go
you.
stream your fucking 1-2 zoom.
1-2 blitz. Like
1-2 blitz.
It's a
Who
tough
are
pool,
you?
man. You know.
Tough pool. Suck a dick.
I've never played one. I have played it. What do you mean I know? I don't play that fucking game.
All right, now that we're done gaslighting Landon, if you find yourself in the muck,
Pew, pew, pew,
would
pew,
love to hear from you.
pew.
Feel free to submit your own in the muck submission I don't know if Guapo has the. You got the asset?
The
I assumed it would be up by now, but it's not.
Which one?
I laid you up. The in the muck graphic.
The still or the video?
The still.
I don't have it. Sorry, boss.
That's okay. On it would be our Twitter that you can go to and give us your in the muck. That's at onlyfriends_pod, as well as our Discord channel. You can get the link from our Twitter bio, or you can hit #Discord or !Discord in the chat. That'll give you the link to our Discord channel. There it is. Look at Guapo. Fine young man. Look how surprised you look there, man. You
Or
look
like
great.
the smudged mascara on whoever.
Oh yeah, that's Nikki.
Yeah. Nikki, I know.
She's got a gun to her head,
Yeah,
but she's really in the muck. If you'd like to submit your own situation where you felt like you were in the muck, head on over to our Discord or our Twitter. Leave that submission for us, and we will do some user submissions in the future. Keir,
What's up, buddy?
Kagami, thank you guys so much for filling in. We appreciate you. This was very last minute.
Wait, are we done?
We're done.
We didn't even talk about anything.
What do you want to talk about, man? Talked about global. We talked about
We just talked about it. We didn't like actually come up with any solutions. And then we got like tangential.
That's above our pay grade, big guy.
I want to share more Keir stories.
Oh yeah.
I just don't know what the line is on.
I'll tell you what. We could
Poker
just
stories?
we could just wrap this
Life
and
stories?
then start recording afterwards. That way you can have final cut.
Okay.
You guys can just free flow, and then whenever you want to take that out, we'll go ahead and take that out. So for the members out there, stay tuned for a tell-all from Keir. We'll be back tomorrow, 6 p.m. for another After Dark episode. Thank you guys so much for joining. I'm in the muck, man.
Look, you got another starting seat.
Thank you so much for joining us.
You folding that 7 deuce got you 5 starting seats.
5 starting seats in a row. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be back again tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific. We'll see you guys all then.
Peace.